Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, if you guys could please be sure, smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Go follow our social medias at Have You Seen It podcast. You guys can find us on TikTok, Instagram, all the fun stuff there. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Well, Mason, it is TV Tuesday, of course.
Of course, our famous TV Tuesday.
We're balls deep into The Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and it's episode 5.
Yes.
Episode 5, what's this one called? Partings.
Partings.
God, these titles need a little work.
Yeah,
Some of them are one word. Yeah, for sure, definitely. But this is maybe my least favorite episode so far,
For sure, yeah. I totally agree.
Yeah,
It was hard for me to pay attention. I kept checking my phone. I was like, oh, this is rough.
Here's definitely where this differs from Game of Thrones, is Game of Thrones makes the politics side so damn exciting.
Yes. And intriguing, and you're fascinated by it, and you're like, okay, what house is doing what?
Yeah, exactly.
What are the, the
and
Tullys
everyone's
doing?
kind of stabbing each other in the back. Mm-hmm. It's like a who's who, what side these people are on. Rings of Power does not have that. They do not. No. What they do well is showing the grand epic scale of battles, or big monsters, the visuals and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the politics
and the
so
orcs,
far,
of course.
And the orcs are the best orcs of anything, I think, so far. Peter Jackson or anything, they're that amazing. But the politics, my guy,
need some work,
especially the Numenor politics. I could
literally care less.
Oh
they dropped the ball so significantly on the politics side of this, where it's like, I'm not fascinated at all.
But there's some things that could be interesting about that, for sure.
Could be.
Yeah.
But it's not executed in the best way.
No, for sure. You don't care about the old king, which I think that could have been a cool idea, the guy that they're hiding away. You don't care about the other statesman, the guy who looks like Neptune, the guy with the great beard and great hair. You don't care about him at all, but he's got things planning. It's like, in this episode, he's got a plan where he's like, we're going to give the Southlanders a king again, and we're going to, install all these things. It's like big, sinister music, but it's like all this stuff is, kind of good.
It's good stuff. What you think would be good, but...
and so it's not like you said, you don't really care.
Well, the overtures and the tones of this are kind of off, and I do agree. Even with the score, I didn't really realize that when I was watching it, but now that you bring that to my attention, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of off.
Big sinister music. Off. I didn't care about the guy trying to blow up the boats, which no one else seemed to care about either.
Well, that felt like just a wrench thrown in there, where he's like, oh, I'm trying to set up Gadriel and whatever.
But the plan didn't work at all.
It didn't work at all.
Even if he executed it perfectly to a T, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, and I almost feel like that was so, what was his name? Lyndon could get a spot on the new expedition team.
Yeah.
That's all that was. It felt kind of like a throw-in or a throw-out.
No, Isidore was the one who gets the spot.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
Lyndon's the place, Isidore, yeah.
Yeah, Lyndon is the capital of the elves, but Isidore is... he's the one who eventually gets the ring. Right now, he's a little shit, and he has the worst hiding spots in the world. Not only that, he hears a guy come down to the boat, start hacking away at things.
Still sleeping.
He gives a cough.
I got the black lung, Pa.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know.
And he immediately he just put a sheet over his head.
Yeah.
Not even hiding behind boxes.
I know. Some of the writing is a little frustrating, especially in this episode, too. I was kind of like, what? You could have written that better. That whole scene, that whole entire section of this episode could have been written in a more convincing manner.
Yeah, I agree. This episode definitely felt like a filler episode for me. Definitely felt like it was gearing towards maybe a big battle in these last 3 episodes with the Southlanders going to... Who the fuck knows who this guy is anymore? Sauron.
Adar. We don't know.
Because eventually... Because the guy...
That was so funny.
Let's talk about this, though. For some reason, half the town is following the drunken bar.
I know. This guy is such a degenerate.
He's so washed up.
He really is.
The entire town followed this guy. He's their new leader.
He is charismatic. Okay, when he gets on his drunk ramblings, okay, this man could preach to the choir.
He said nothing, but he screamed at people. Anyways.
But you know what? people like the passion. I mean, there have been very
People
powerful
like the
men
smell. They
who
say,
scream
"That
and who have
guy
been very
stinks
passionate.
just enough. We're going to follow him to the ends of the earth.
Oh, man.
We're going to uproot our entire lives and follow.
Follow the drunken fool. Yeah, well, it's so funny, too, that scene. He's like, I solemnly swear an oath to Sauron.
Yeah, he's like, or
He's like,
whoever you are.
or whoever you
which
are.
to me was like,
He's like, you're not Sauron?
to me was them writing, this is definitely not Sauron.
Yeah.
Like, or it was a stupid way of throwing us off.
No, but I told you last episode, I was like, I'm not convinced he's Sauron.
I don't know who this guy is then. I mean, who could
I
he
think he's
be?
just a disciple, honestly.
I mean, he's powerful though.
Yeah, he is.
They call
Very
him
powerful.
Allfather. I mean, I don't know, but yeah, I liked what the bartender ended up having to do. I wish someone had to kill him instead
That would have been better. Yeah.
instead of him having to kill like the youngest, maybe healthiest guy there.
See, that's the funny thing is that's what I was immediately. I was like, dude, this guy's old, past his prime, and he's gonna kill a young man.
But he's perfect.
It's the
for
true
orc
sacrifice.
army. He's
Yeah.
perfect. They don't want the healthy guys. Okay?
No, because they can rebel.
Yeah.
You want the old and weak who will serve you.
You know what that guy's perfect for? Serving beers.
true.
And that's what you want. You don't want some stupid young kid who's just going to probably fuck your wives. Okay, sleep with your
orc
women.
wives.
This guy, he's so handsome.
He
You know what
is.
you want? The washed-up guy, he's got 2 teeth left in his head.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can serve beer all day.
It's very true, and I mean, he's a professional at it.
He's
had
great.
Plenty of practice.
He's the only thing he knows what to do. But yeah, I kind of like that scene. But we get that, and the orcs are marching on. They're marching on to go. They got to take on the tower, right?
Yep, they do. So we got to talk about that speech too. That was the most uninspiring speech I've ever heard in a TV show in my life.
Given
from,
by
what's her face? She was like, "We can do it. We can be strong." And I'm thinking,
if
I was in that town,
the healer chick.
yes.
Yes.
If I was in that town
What's
and
her
I heard
name?
that speech, I'd be like, I'm out.
Well,
I'm
she-
like, this was just not inspiring at all.
Well, don't forget. I mean, it was like 30 seconds later. She's like, maybe we should go and bow down to this guy. And the elf has to be like, whoa.
That's what I'm saying. The most uninspiring speech
yeah, I know.
ever.
Let's be honest. She was half in, half out.
She really
okay?
was. And if you're going to give
She
an empowering
knows.
speech, you got to be 100% in.
Oh my God.
Doesn't matter.
You gotta be fucking you gotta be Pullman from Independence Day.
Exactly.
You gotta give the
Even if
speech
you
that's gonna
think
unite-
everyone's going to die, you got to convince people.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be convincing.
No one's convinced.
No.
At all. And this is like not a good time for this elf guy to try to bond with his illegitimate son. No one is in a hurry in this fucking movie. Is the thing that's kind of bothering me. Except for the elves, thank God. The elves are like,
Which, ironically
"Tree's time,
enough,
we need-"
ironically enough, because they live forever,
I know.
typically. So
But
they're the most
humans-
patient.
Gladiel, she has a full fucking training scene in this that I hated, where it's like first person to touch her, is a captain now. We're like, whoa.
Like, wow, that's a fast upgrade. Okay.
So everyone is like, I'll take my chance.
What do I got to lose?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I did not love the writing. It was just a way to get those guys finally back on the boat. The
Pretty
guys that
That's the
Isildur
thing.
screwed
Yeah.
finally.
Well, and that's the thing. I felt like this whole episode could have been written better, and I felt like just every little plot detail was just to move the story along.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And that's what was frustrating for me. Is it's like
Yeah, not written.
It wasn't
'cause
convincing
was
writing.
Good story, but written
Yeah.
because we gotta
move the story
We gotta move it out of Numenor now,
Yeah,
guys.
exactly.
We've been here long enough, and we got no idea what we're doing in Numenor.
But it's so wild to me, dude. You spend $1 billion. The writing should be literally the most important thing. You should
Oh, yeah.
hire a giant list of people to to double check and make sure every plot hole is filled. And it's just wild to me that it's just such loose writing.
I wouldn't necessarily call it
in this
plot holes
episode.
yet, but it is shitty writing for sure, definitely. But yeah, you should be hiring a team of guys. But I'm sure a lot of the money obviously went to the special effects and how good, because everything does look good.
It does. It looks great.
But yeah, definitely. That's what I thought. I don't think it's plot holes yet, but I think everything is just, in this episode, it shines more than ever. It shows the weaknesses in this episode, and it shows the strengths for sure.
Yeah.
And like a lot of those. But yeah, the weaknesses. I did enjoy the scene between Elrond and Durin.
Okay, so that's my favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
I love that relationship. If we could just do a spin-off of Elrond and Durin,
Yeah. Oh,
please
dude.
give me a
Like a
spin-off
buddy
between
cop
a buddy
thing.
cop. They're just like going through Middle
They're going
Earth, doing whatever they want.
Just picking up odd jobs.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I would watch that in a heartbeat. I
Kissing
love
every
that
now and
relationship.
then.
I'm cool with that.
Why
Hey, a
not?
little elf on dwarf.
Let's be honest. The tension between those
Oh, it's pretty
two-
strong. It's that bond there is truly there.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure. But yeah, I mean, I love, and Elrond does like one of the, what I think was good writing was instead of Elrond, going around lying to Durin and going through all these loopholes, he just fucking straight up tells him.
He told him.
Like, look, I was there. I got tricked. I was like, I was there. I had no idea. I was there for Mithril, obviously. It's like the easiest thing to do.
Well-
and then he's like, it's just the best. And it was good writing, too. The dialogue was great during that scene.
That's what I want to say. So like, it's so funny in this episode because like all of the stuff in where is this again?
Linden.
Neomor, right?
Well, Linden is where
Linden is where all that's taking
Elrond
place.
and
But
Durin.
all that writing and all that kind of stuff just sucks. But then,
Numenor. Yeah, you're right. Yep.
Numenor, yeah. But then when we get to Elrond and Durin, it's good
Linden.
writing.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And it's good acting and it's good relationships and you feel that relationship and that bond between those two. And that's kind of like where I want to see more of the story is because
Yeah.
I feel like that's the most compelling element of this entire
And I feel like
series.
it's the most thought out at this point.
Yes.
It's like I feel like they know where Elrond and Durin are going at this point,
Mm-hmm.
which I don't, which is great. But I feel like they do know where this is going to go with the whole Mithril thing. But the other stuff, yeah, you're not sure how it's going to happen. Most likely it's going to happen is where it's like they're going to land right on the fucking shores as the orcs are like rushing the tower when things are looking real bad.
Right.
It's gonna be like
It's like
we
that
don't know-
Gandalf scene where he comes in.
But
in
he
the-
did tell
in the
him,
two
look
towers.
on the fifth day.
Yeah.
But this is gonna be they're gonna like traverse 1,000 miles in a day, and they're just gonna sign up and like we're not gonna know, and that's just where I think it's going.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that those parties don't meet at all during this season. I hope Galadriel and the elf guy and the humans. I hope they don't, but obviously they're going down there to save them, so they probably will at some point. But that's what's going to happen, I think. I don't know how long. Maybe we'll get an entire episode of them traveling the seas.
Well, we
Which
also
they built up a lot.
I
They're
know
great
they have.
traveler. I mean, they're great seamen.
We kind of have to jump back to the Harfoots, though, in this mysterious
course.
man and another mysterious man who finds the birthplace of this mysterious man who comes down and he's very menacing looking. He's
Slim
blonde.
Shady.
Yeah, Slim Shady. He's kind of
This
gothic.
is the guy that people were
pissed.
losing. That's Sauron. No, he looks like B Rabbit.
But so very interesting. I don't really know what's going on. I don't know who this mysterious man
who-
is. My guess is it's a wizard. That's my guess.
Now I think it's gonna be Saruman. I think it's gonna be obviously the White Wizard, the bad guy, because the frost thing kind of made me remember he brings the snow down on the Fellowship,
That's right.
and Gandalf was always more flamey.
It
He's
is
a little
Sal-
spicy.
It is Saruman.
Saruman, you think?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah,
Maybe.
I do.
Well, I don't know, but of course Saruman, was leader of the wizards. He was good at one point.
Yeah, he was.
Because I think if this guy was Sauron, I think there wouldn't be any good in him at all.
No.
He couldn't even fake it, I don't believe. That guy is he's like second in command to the devil.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy, obviously he's torn by things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he fucking picks up a couple dogs in this episode, tosses them. That's
Yeah,
pretty
a couple
sweet.
wolves,
That's
man. That
pretty
was nice.
sweet.
Yeah, that was cool.
But yeah, so I think maybe that's this guy you don't know though, the fucking stranger. No one knows.
Could
what's
literally be anyone.
Yeah, but we get a little more hobbits. They
do.
sing some songs, and this one kind of dope, kind of
Abandon
cool.
some more people. No, I'm just joking.
Yeah. Well, now everyone loves this big
Yeah.
guy. He fights wolves all of a
Like,
sudden.
oh, he's great now. We're so glad. It was our idea.
yeah.
It's like, no, it wasn't.
You guys front of the line.
front.
Yeah. I always wanted you on the front. Yeah, so we get that for sure. The last thing he does is he flings that little elf girl 15 feet.
15.
Good
and
15.
she is shocked.
Oh,
Shell
she-
shocked.
she hurtled. Yeah. I mean, could be broken bones easily.
Could.
We know one thing
Concussion
with the
for
hobbits.
sure.
Fragile bones.
Very fragile.
Just paper thin bones.
And definitely CTE.
Oh, her dad, remember her dad's ankle snapped just by that wizard thinking about it. That's
true.
Yeah. So yeah, she's scared of him, of course. I knew that was coming at some point. There'd be some falling out where then he's got to, I don't know where it's going with this guy.
Who knows?
Not at all. I hope he gets. He's fucking magic though, and he healed
He
through
is.
the power of frost,
He is the magic man.
like Elsa. But yeah, last we get, I think, is the orcs marching on to town. And I hope they just slaughter those people. My God.
That's the prayer. I want to see some carnage.
Yeah,
Some death.
there has. That would be cool if all that. I mean, obviously that main elf guy who's got the kid, he's gonna live.
Of course. But the kid might die.
Kid, that would be cool. But
That'd
it'd be
be cool.
cool. It'd be cool if Gaggio and them, came onto that fucking tower and it was just wiped out.
Very true.
They would be like, we gotta go hunt these fuckers. Damn, Gaggio's she's back in the hunt. Although we learned in this episode that it's not as much vengeance as it was her just being scared by all
She
of the
just couldn't
elves being
stop.
scared of her, and pretty much saying she forcing her to pretty much die and go to heaven and be
Brutal. I mean, when people really don't want you so much that they're like, please die.
That is the one scene I
Please
liked
die.
of all the Numenorian things was the scene when she was talking to that other stranger guy. Who pretty much he came out and said I did some real bad shit because he was a Southlander. He probably geared up with the orcs or whatever. But yeah, I like that. Hopefully next one though, it's just people being slaughtered.
That is my preference.
I'm gearing.
That's
Hopefully,
why I tune in.
next 3 episodes, 3 hours of battle scenes. That's what I'm guessing. That's
Probably.
what I'm hoping. Non-stop.
It's got to be an
battles.
epic ending. I mean, if they want to make a season 2 and 3, which they're already slated to
Oh,
do.
it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be that dark guy Ardor. We don't know who he is
Ardor,
fighting
yeah.
Gladio.
Mhm.
To
Probably.
the death. That'd be fucking sweet, wouldn't it?
I'm for it.
All right.
All right. Well, that is our review for part 5 of Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings. Partings, I should say. If you like what you see in here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification. Excuse me, as we drop videos here every single day. I'm going through puberty. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. Until next time.
Bye.